All right, folks, with us now a courageous mom and son duo as they unveil their compelling journey, standing by her son through the trials of a cancer diagnosis, along with expedition to India, driven by an unwavering pursuit to enhance her son's well-being. Now, this is a story of resilience, love, and the relentless quest for hope. With me, Vanessa Williams-Morgan and Rajay Joseph. There you are. Good morning to you both. Welcome to Smile Jamaica. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. We're doing well, thank you.
Fantastic. Rajay, Wagwan, are you okay, son?
I'm doing well, sir.
Yeah? You get up early this morning, though. Kind of early, don't it?
It's night.
It's night.
Oh, it's night now. What time? What time is it? Because, yeah, you guys are in India, aren't you? What time is it?
Yes, it's almost 7 p.m.
Oh, it's very early for Rajay. What time you go to bed normally, Rajay?
9 p.m.
Oh, so you still
Later
have
than me.
Yeah, you still have a couple of hours. Mom, great to have you with us. Usually we don't have enough time to go through every little thing, but in a nutshell, what was wrong with Rajay and how is he now?
Okay, so 4 years ago, Rajay was diagnosed with stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma. It is a cancer of the blood, it's cancer of the lymphatic system, really. They were basically, for me, somebody who had no idea that children could even have cancer. I had no idea what were the signs that I'm supposed to look for. So he got diagnosed, and I took him to Canada first, and they said that they were not able to assist him. And the doctor basically told me to take him home and make him comfortable because he would not live past 6 months. Immediately, that did not sit right with me. I did not see how I could have an 8-year-old, a little baby, because it's still your baby, right? And I just could not see how that was even possible. So I refused to accept that diagnosis, and I basically decided to import the medication. I work with the doctors at UA, and they said, you know what, if we can get these medication to Jamaica, then we can try. And that's exactly what we did. We imported all the medication, and they tried, and they got it from a stage 4 to stage 1B. That was after about a year and a half of treatment, and then he was on his way and he was doing really good, but he needed additional treatment, which means I have to take him elsewhere. I took him to Cuba, and he received a cancer-free diagnosis. But that was short-lived because January 2023, unfortunately, while doing his checkup, we realized that the cancer had returned. And this time it was a lot more aggressive. And as such, there was basically nothing that could be done in Jamaica. So I did some research, and I found this hospital in India that they are doing wonderful work in terms of experimental treatment for Hodgkin's lymphoma. And honestly, I don't have anything. I don't have any money to pay for the treatment because I've already sold anything. Anything that is of value, I've already sold. So I went online and I started to beg everybody, and not just online, but I was walking in the streets with my little containers, and I just started to ask persons, if you can donate, if even $10, then it can go a far way to help me to get him to India for treatment.
So
and
is it that
thanks
he's...
be to God.
Sorry, Vanessa. Is it that is it a part of a clinical trial now? Is that what he's doing?
No, he's not a part of a clinical trial. The clinical trial was successful, and they are now they're rolling out full-fledged treatment.
I see,
yes.
I see. Rajay, my sweet, how are you feeling in your body and in your mind? You're a strong young man. How have you been feeling?
Thank you. Well, kind of traumatized with everything, but I'm feeling really good.
Wow. And how do you feel about your mom and what she's been doing to get you the help that you need?
Oh man, she's the best mom.
Gosh.
Words couldn't even describe how wonderful she is.
Oh, Mom, what's the prognosis now? How far is the treatment and what are they saying now?
We can confidently say Reggie is cancer free.
Oh man.
And we're just waiting for him to be stable so we can travel back to Jamaica. But he's doing wonderful. He's doing wonderful.
You don't
He's been
understand.
here for 7 months.
You don't understand me, cry you and Mr. Cry on national TV, you know. What a great response to that question. And Roger, you look like you will laugh at me if I cry, Roger. You can't do that, you know, it's national TV, you can't laugh at me. When you heard that news, Roger, Auntie Simone just asked you a question, but did you understand what was going on with you and your body and everything? Did you understand?
No, not at first.
Do you understand now?
Yes.
And are you feeling...
I didn't actually tell him everything at first. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Are you feeling different now, Roger, than before when you were told that you were sick?
Not really sure.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Mom, you said that when you got the diagnosis, as someone who did not even know that kids could get cancer, you were surprised. And a lot of people would probably be surprised to hear you say that, but there are many people who do not know that children get cancer. And so you say you did not know you didn't know what the signs meant, you didn't know what the signs and the symptoms were. There are parents who are watching this morning who may be in your position. Can you talk us through some of the things that you saw that eventually led you to discovering what was going on?
Okay, so initially, when he was about 7, we started noticing that he was having a lot of
Frozen.
when it just started to itch and scratch, and it's just mostly the upper body. And he was just learning to bathe himself. So I was thinking that maybe he's not doing it properly. And, so we changed his rag and started using salve and stuff like that just to see if that could ease the itching and the scratching. And then we noticed that he had a lump on his neck. And I asked him, is it paining? Are you feeling any discomfort? There was no discomfort at all. And after about 4 months, because I keep taking him to the pediatrician and nobody could tell me exactly why was that lump there and what is the cause, because it must be a reason why your lymph node is swollen. The same thing that we call wax and canal, there must be a reason why it is swollen. So I keep taking him to the doctor, and I took him to 2 different pediatricians and they could not confirm what was the issue, why it was swollen, and it started to get bigger and bigger. And I remember I took him to the beach. We went to Port Escovel. Not Port Escovel, I don't remember the name. It's in Satan, Port something. And I took him to the beach and I was taking some pictures to send back to my brother who was not able to make the trip. And while I was going through the pictures, I realized that his face is not symmetrical because I did not see it interacting with him daily.
Right.
But it was on the picture that I realized that his face is not symmetrical. The right side was a little bit swollen and bigger than the left side. And I took him and I started to really examine him. I started looking in his mouth and see if there's anything that I can actually see physically, and I couldn't see anything. At the time, my friend, he was studying to be a doctor at UWI, and I told him about it, and I started to show him all the blood tests that Reggie has done. And he was saying, Vanessa, there is nothing that is really out of the spectrum, but some of the parameters are a little bit high, but they're not out of the spectrum. So I said, okay. And he said, you know what, bring him and let my professor have a look, and we will see what can be done. And I went, and he was asking me all these questions. And is he sweating a lot? And I was like, he's always sweating. He's a child. He's running up and down and doing all of that thing. And they're saying he's still very active. And I said, he's still very active. they took a biopsy of the lymph node, and they sent me to Ripon Road to do a scan. I remember clearly when I went and did that scan. And the gentleman, the tech, he said that if the screen light up, it's an indication that cancer is present.
Gotcha.
And,
so key to what you're
right?
saying, Vanessa, because we don't have time to go through the entire story, but key to what you're saying, my key takeaway at any point is that we have to be really vigilant about what's going on with our children, because for you to realize one side of him face not symmetrical with the other side, I mean, you got to know what's going on with your kids in their minds, in their bodies, be able to, look and see if something looks different. But even more importantly, what I also take away from this story is the power of perseverance and the sacrifice that parents make for their children, because you've moved heaven, earth, moved country, given up your stuff, sold your things, and as a result, your little boy is here today. It's not Mother's Day, but boy, we've got to laud you on what you've done to keep him alive. You saved his life, essentially.
Mom,
Thank you.
We have to go, but I shed a tear when I was preparing for the interview, and I'll tell you why. When I read that your son told you to stop saying that you will do whatever it is to save him, because if it is God's will for him to go, he should go. How did that make you feel? And you made that promise. You told him that you made that promise. How did that make you feel?
I was driving in home from one of his sessions at UWI, and we were on the Spanish Town bypass, and we were talking because I was on the phone trying to call everybody that I've been to college with and everybody that I've been in contact with, just asking them, just please, whatever you can, give me something. And when I got off the phone, he said, Mommy, I noticed that you're always saying you'll do whatever it is to save me. I want you to stop saying that, because I don't want you to lose your soul in trying to save my body. And I broke down. He said, if it is God's will for me to go, I want you to be okay with that. I cried right where the donut people themselves right there. So I just parked and I just started to weep. And I promised him and I told him that I'm going to do this, but according to God's will. If it is ordained, then fine. And I made him that promise, and I told him that I am just going to pray and just leave it, because he made me promise, and I had to give him my word, because, as children, sometimes, as parents, sometimes we don't really take what our children say. But when he came to me and the way he spoke to me, I knew that he was serious and it was important to him. And I was just like glorifying God, and I was like, thank you. And I asked him, I said, daily I want you to say your prayers, and including it, that you are healed, you are blessed, and you are a light from God.
I love you.
And if it is His will, He will save you.
Yeah, ma'am. I love you both. Rajay, I love you plenty. And the whole of us love you. So hopefully we will meet when you come back to Jamaica. God bless you both. Mommy, you're an amazing woman. Son, you're an amazing son. Blessings.
Thank you.
Vanessa Williams Morgan and son, Rajay Josephs. When we come back, we have a chat with the twins on a mission